Big breaking news out of the NBA where Rudy Gobert will no longer be a part of the Utah Jazz organization. He is being traded to the Timberwolves, that per ESPN. The three-time Defensive Player of the Year has spent his entire 9-year career thus far in Utah, no longer. Now, in exchange for Rudy Gobert, the Jazz are getting a lot. They're getting multiple first-round picks. Also, several players, including Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Walker Kessler, among others. Let's welcome in Colin Ward-Henninger for the very latest here in the NBA. Rudy Gobert no longer with the Jazz, now heading to Minnesota, according to reports. Give us a grade for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
This is almost too early for me to give a grade. I'm so flabbergasted by what just happened. Obviously, we knew that Rudy Gobert was on the trade block, that Utah might choose to go in a different direction. This news of the Timberwolves just kind of came around the last couple of hours, and it moved very quickly. So for the Timberwolves, as of right now, my immediate grade, a C. I don't really get it. I don't understand why you're putting another 7-footer next to Karl-Anthony Towns. I understand that Towns isn't exactly the best defensive center out there, but he really improved last season, and that was part of the reason why the Timberwolves were able to become, a playoff team. I don't really get putting Gobert next to him for the foreseeable future. And then if you throw in the package that they had to send back in return, 3 unprotected first-round picks, it's just absolutely insane. Plus a top 5 protected pick in 2029. Who knows what those picks are going to end up looking like? So, unless there's more to come on the Timberwolves side, which there very well could be, I'm very confused by this trade and the haul that they had to give up in order to get him. It's truly remarkable.
So do you think, looking at this and you're saying, look, it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. Do you see another trade another move down the line for the Timberwolves, or is this just kind of throwing stuff at the wall right now?
Yeah, it sounds like they really zeroed in on Gobert as this piece that they could put next to Towns. And I understand the thinking, right? If Towns isn't going to be your, linchpin defensive center, you need to put someone next to him. But usually we don't see such a high-priced all-star level center put next to another all-star level center. You can go find guys who are good defensive centers. Just take a look at Kevon Looney out in Golden State, for an example, a guy who's very affordable, who provides some great rim protection, defensive versatility. Gobert is now going to a team that doesn't have great perimeter defenders. And that was the problem in Utah, was that he's tremendous around the rim. You can't overstate how great he is as a rim protector. He's probably the best in the league. But if they're just continually funneling guards into him over and over and over, there's only so much he can do. So sending out Patrick Beverley in this trade only weakens that defense that's going to rely solely pretty much on Rudy Gobert to protect the rim. So I assume that it's going to be hard for them to make another move, just given what they've given up in this deal. But they're going to have to fill in some wing positions given what they sent out.
So talk to me about the Jazz. Obviously, we've been talking about how it looks like we're looking at a rebuild here very clearly for this organization, what they got for him and the future of the Jazz moving forward now.
Yeah, the biggest question now is what are they going to do with Donovan Mitchell? Is he going to be content with kind of taking a step back? This is a team that was a #1 seed a couple of seasons ago that had some high playoff aspirations and some big playoff disappointments. Is Donovan Mitchell going to be patient enough to sit around and wait while they figure out what their next moves are? It seems to me, just given that they got this huge haul of picks moving forward, that they could be exploring potential trades for Donovan Mitchell. And now with him on the market, along with Kevin Durant, there could be some serious bidding wars around the NBA for their services. But as far as Utah's return on Rudy Gobert, they'd obviously been speculated to be moving Rudy Gobert for a long time. I never saw anything that came close to this in terms of the pick return, just in mock trades and fake trades out there. So I think what Utah got for Rudy Gobert, they have to be ecstatic about. But what that ultimately means for Utah moving forward is they might have to assess where Donovan Mitchell stands and what they could potentially get for him to commence a full rebuild.
So let's talk about Donovan Mitchell here really quickly before I let you go. Any potential contenders out there who look at this and say, hey, we could get Donovan Mitchell now. Who could those teams be?
Yeah, the biggest one I think out there is the Miami Heat. They've been linked to Donovan Mitchell for a while now. That would require them, extending Tyler Hero and then sending him out in that package. I think Donovan Mitchell takes that team to the next level. You look at Jimmy Butler and what he's been required to do in these Miami Heat playoff runs a couple of years ago to the finals, and then this past year to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler needs some help, and I think Donovan Mitchell is the perfect guy to slot in next to him in terms of his scoring ability and playmaking ability. So that's one team. But really, you look around the NBA and what we've seen in the last couple days, even last couple weeks, is that there's a lot of moving pieces. So what you think could be true today, it could not be true tomorrow, and vice versa. So if Donovan Mitchell is in fact on the trade market, things could move quickly, and we could see some teams get in the mix that might not even be in our radar right now.
Well, exactly. Just like the Timberwolves, you said this is not one of the teams we're necessarily looking at when it came to Rudy Gobert. Sure enough, they end up landing him. Colin Ward-Henninger, thank you so much for joining us here on HQ to talk about this latest breaking news here. Impact of Rudy Gobert now on his new team, the Timberwolves, according to our friends at Sportsline. Let's just take a look at wins. Before wins, 41.6. With him, 45.9. To make the playoffs, though, that's a pretty big jump, going from 38.6% all the way up to 68.2%.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.